Hello everyone, this is God Center with Matthew. I had some technical difficulties last night. I got a new camera and microphone. I don't know. I finally got it working, I believe. So this is take 3. So we're going to be in the book of Isaiah. We've been reading the New Testament last couple of weeks, and actually the last 3 weeks have just opened the Bible, and that's the book it goes to is the one that last 2 weeks anyway. I just opened the book, and that's where it went to, and that's where God's led me. So we're going to be, let's do it in Isaiah 53. We're going to go to verse 1. Who has believed our report, and whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of the dry ground. He has no form or comeliness, and when we see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. He is despised and rejected. He is despised and rejected. He is despised and rejected by men. A man of sorrow and of antiquity with grief, and we hid as it were our faces from him. He was despised, and we did not esteem him. So this is the prophecy. I'm going to keep reading, and you're going to understand this is the prophecy of Jesus coming to bear the sins of the world on his shoulders on that cross. I am so grateful for God doing that for me, because I'm not able to carry myself. I'm not able to be good enough to get into heaven. That's what the last couple lessons in the New Testament I've been talking about. There isn't really no good person here. There's nobody good enough to get here on their own. And I hate it when this is what happens, that people get turned away from the church. People go to church every Sunday. I'm not bashing everybody, but there is some of this going on. Some people in the church will think because they go to church every Sunday that they're better than everybody else, and that their relationship with God is so much better. And you don't know. Nobody knows anybody's personal relationship with God unless they just come out and say they're an antichrist, or not antichrist, but atheist. You know, that's the only way that you really know somebody's relationship with God. Some people go through things, they struggle, and that doesn't mean that they aren't saved. You don't know unless you've asked them, and they come out and say they aren't. I know we're supposed to bear good fruits and things, but there was a time in my life where I was struggling with drugs and alcohol, but I was dying to be that good person. I was dying to cried to God for help, and I knew I was doing wrong, but I was trying not to. Some of these sins just take time to overcome, and the myth that a lot of people get into telling people is once you're saved, you're not going to, you're a whole nother person, which you work towards being that. But everything takes work. I mean, Michael Jordan, he didn't just become Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant, he just wasn't born Kobe Bryant. These people put in work. These people put in a lot of work. There's few people that was just that didn't have to put in as much work as other people. Like Allen Iverson, for instance. I don't know. I'm sure he put in work, but he also didn't put in as much work as, say, Michael Jordan and Kobe, but he was on that level with them. So some people are just a little bit more natural at overcoming these sins, or not even being drawn away these sins. So it's just one of the things we have to work on. So I'm gonna go to verse 5. But he was. I'm gonna go to verse 4. I don't remember if I read that or not. Surely he has bore our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we esteem him stricken, smitten by God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement for our peace was upon him, and by his stripes we are healed. So by his stripes we are healed. That doesn't mean necessarily that you're dying of stage 4 cancer now and you just pray your way out of it. I mean that stuff. I've got diabetes. I don't know if there's any praying my way out of that. Now I can live healthier and do better. Everybody's going to die. This is what this flesh is. This flesh is out to kill us every day. It tried to kill me with them drugs and alcohol years ago. Desire for that, and sexual immorality and all that. All just, there's just so much stuff going on. But people. I don't know if people understand that being angry at somebody and hating somebody, to the point to where you hate them. Jesus says it's as bad as murder. So, like, if you hate somebody in your heart, you've committed murder in your heart. You're just as bad as a person that's went out and shot somebody. That's what Jesus says. And so that's what I'm trying to tell you, that like the law had been abolished through Jesus dying. It says that that his stripes we are healed. So now we walk in newness of life. By his stripes we are healed. We can boldly go to God as if though we've never sinned, as if though we've never done any wrong. That's how we're healed. We can go to, because we've been washed in the blood. If we've been baptized and we've been born again, that's how we get born again. Because you go back and read the book, and where he talks to Nicodemus, he clearly tells us how to do it. It's just all through the book. So I'm just thankful to God that I hadn't got to get there on my own merit, because if I had to get there on my own merit, I would not make it, and I would surely deserve to burn in hell. I surely deserve to be dead by now. I surely deserve to have been in prison. God has saved me from that through his stripes. I've been saved. Healed, saved. I'm gonna go to verse 6. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of all of us. Right there, like Jesus has bore all our sins. That's what I was just telling you, that we've all gone astray. It don't say that a few of us are going. It says all of us. So if you see somebody sitting up high on a peak, looking down on you, pointing their finger at you, well, by God, there's something going on with that person. There's something going on with that person, because like the only person that's able to condemn us is God. There ain't nobody can tell you you're going to hell. There's nobody can tell you that you're going to hell, because they don't know. They ain't got the authority to send you to hell. The devil will tell you that. The devil will tell you you're not good enough, because you may be in some type of sin right now that you've been told you're going to hell over, but only God can tell you. Only God can condemn you. Your mom can't condemn you. Your dad can't condemn you. Your brother or sister can't condemn you. Your aunt and uncle can't condemn you. The neighbor can't condemn you. The pastor of the church can't condemn you. The only person that can condemn you is yourself and God. So what we have to do as Christians is to pray to God and ask for forgiveness, and continue doing that, and continue working to be a better person each and every day. That's what we have to do. And if you haven't been born again, if you haven't been baptized, and and you're watching, get a hold of me, and we'll get you in. We'll get you in some water. I'm gonna go to verse 7. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He was led as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before its shearers is silent, so he opened not his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment, and who will declare his generation? There we go. He was thrown in prison. He was accused, and then they crucified him. For he was cut off from the land of the living. They killed him. For the transgressions of my people he was stricken, and they made his grave with the wicked. He was hung. He was hung with two thieves. But with the rich at his death, because he had done no violence, nor was any deceit in his mouth. Even when they was killing him, he said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they've done." He wasn't cussing them. He wasn't screaming at them that you got the wrong guy. They was trying to even tell him to save himself. If you're a son of God, get down from that cross, or call God to come down and save you. But they didn't understand he was saving us through that pain and suffering on that cross. He was saving us. If it wasn't for what he done, none of us would be good enough. None of us would be covered. He paid the price for my sin. He paid the price for your sin. He paid the price for the world's sin. And it's just hard to believe that somebody loved us so much that they did that. I don't know if I could get on the cross for anybody. I'll be honest with you. That sounds like a very painful way to die. Now, taking a bullet in the head or something without me seeing it, that's a whole another thing. I could probably do that. I could probably take a bullet for somebody, as long as it's just in the head and it's quick. But laying on that cross, that's a whole other ball game, guys. So we're gonna go to verse 10. If it pleased the Lord to bruise him, he had to put him to grief. When you make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed, he shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. He shall see the labor of his soul, and be satisfied by the knowledge. My righteous servant shall justify many, for he shall bear their iniquities. He bore our iniquities. He bore our sins. So when somebody tells you you're not good enough to get into heaven, and you know that you've been born again, remind them who your daddy is. Remind them who your father is. Remind them what he did for you. Remind them that, like, Jesus bore his sins, and you can't stop. I rebuke you, Satan. Because Satan gets in people, demons get in people, and they'll try to tell you you're not good enough. If anybody's telling you that, there's something really sick with that person, because they don't know who Jesus is. If they tell you can't get into heaven. Now you do need to be born again. I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody they're going to hell, though. I'm just going to tell them the way to get there. You know, it's not my job to condemn nobody. It's not nobody's job to condemn nobody, but it is my job to tell the truth. And the truth is that we need to be born again in order to be adopted into this family. Therefore, I will divide him a portion with the great, and he will divide the spoil with the strong, because he poured out his soul unto death, and he was numbered with the transgressors. He bore the sin of many. He bore the sin of many. So he didn't say all. It says many. So that's the ones that saved. He bore your sin and made intercession for the transgressors. All of us are transgressors. All of us is sin, and all of us will continue to do some type of sin to the day we die. We may not sin every day, but it just happens. You know, driving down the road, getting mad at somebody, screaming and cussing at them, or getting just being angry at that person. That's all. It's all bad. You know. So what I'm trying to get at is like this was the this was the beginning right here. Like this is telling us that Jesus is coming. This is the prophecy of Jesus. This is one of them, and he did bear the sin for many. Now, he didn't, you know, he bore sin for everybody that has decided to make that step into being baptized into the family. We get adopted through the baptism, and he covers us through that. So if anybody watching has not been baptized, and get hold of me, and you know, he's wanting a relationship with us. He's wanting you to be part of the family. Come on, he's telling you to come home. That you was born to be with him, but you have the choice whether you want to be on God's side or you want to be on the world's side. And we have to just live life. We have to wake up every morning and decide to do the right thing. You know, for many years I woke up in the morning and I had a decision to do right, but there was something that was so strong that I wasn't able to do right. So if there's anybody struggling with anything going on right now, you can get a hold of me and we can pray about it. Or you don't have to talk. You don't have to go to Mary. You don't have to go to a priest to confess. You just talk to Jesus. There is strength in numbers and prayers, though. I do really truly believe. It says where there's one, more than one, then he's there. So you necessarily hadn't got to be a church. The church is within us. This is his temple, our body. He dwells in those who have been saved, and he's like I said, he's looking for everybody to turn that way. It says one day every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. You don't want to be the one standing like, oh man, this is real. But you do have to believe this. So like, that's why he says you have to come as a small child. You know, because this stuff is like really hard to wrap your mind around. But I just couldn't imagine not believing in Jesus. I just can't imagine not having a relationship with God. And I want everybody in the world to feel the way I feel about him. And so I'm just sort of rambling at this point, but get a hold of me. We'll get you baptized, and if you got any comments, comment down below. If you got any questions, ask questions below, and I just want to tell each and every one of y'all I love y'all, and I hope y'all have a blessed day. I'm fixing to go get me some little chickens. Y'all have a blessed day, and if you like what seemed like, share and subscribe. Thank you, and God bless.